Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Remote Workforce Summit, the second edition organized by College Times. That was a fabulous panel talking about the most relevant and the most important topic, the hallmark traits of successful remote workforce strategy. And now we can move to another topic that keeps the C-suites awake, managing and leading virtual teams. While remote work allows companies to compete in an increasingly globalized society, by increasing productivity and lower attrition rate. Still, the real challenge sometimes becomes adapting to the new workplace. Team leaders need to establish clear goals, organizing great meetings, even strategies for communicating clearly and leveraging team members' individual and collective strength. This conversation will highlight the solution for top problems virtual team leaders encounter. So let's hear from Dr. Tanaya Mishra, Group CHRO of SR. Dr. Tanaya is currently the Global CHRO SR projects. Prior to this, she's worked as Managing Director, HR APAC with Accenture. She has unique and diverse experience of having worked across industries ranging from manufacturing to retail, insurance, and much more. She's a PhD in manpower planning and a postgraduate degree in human resources with a degree in law. She has many articles and publications to her credit and has held several honorary positions with many organizations. She was selected to be a part of the prestigious CSC Commonwealth Leaders and has won many accolades and awards. The real estate. Thank you very much, Dr. Tanaya, and we welcome you at College Times' second edition of the Remote Workforce Summit. Over to you, won't take very long.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in whichever part of the world that you have logged in from. What I'm going to do is I have a short presentation to share with you, which I will. So this is all about managing and leading virtual teams. Look, what happened earlier is something which we were devastated by. But the fact is that today's reality is that it's a blended approach to leading and managing virtual teams. In fact, if you look at a little bit of crystal gazing and what is COVID-19 and beyond, corporations, will not probably be opening their offices until mid of 2022. In fact, some people have said, is it really the death of the office? But the interesting part is it's not, and that's why it's necessary to understand that it's going to be a very, a blended kind of an approach where you will have offices and you will also combine work from home. Where I was in Accenture for 3.5 years of my working career with Accenture, way back in 2015, we worked virtually and that was fine across the world. But during these times, it's really the alignment of leadership and leaders to come up to the challenge. Today, it is COVID. Tomorrow, it's going to be probably a climate change or a space race or quantum computing and God knows whatever, which means that leaders have to rise to the occasion. So what do we therefore do? One is to ensure that we start future-proofing today to ensure that we are able to see what we can do in the future. So therefore, it's very essential that we while we are leading our teams virtually or otherwise, it's essential to understand that we need to have teams which are lean startups. We need to introduce our teams to design thinking to ensure that whatever is the most relevant and practical approach for that particular aspect of the business is taken up and it forms a consensus. We can even practice design thinking with our customers, which a lot of other corporates have done. The other aspect is getting our teams to experiment. Gone are those days where we went to office all the time and we continued with that job. Probably our parents' generation did that, but today's generation is new. Gig economy is in. And in fact, as more and more people have lost their jobs, that's what we're going to see in the future. The new generation doesn't want anchors in the sense they feel that a steadfast career is probably going to pull them down. So therefore, what are the practical tools that we ensure to equip both our employees as well as our customer. And we need to show how we get it done. As we move to a virtual reality or a blended world, we need to understand that it is one to many. Okay, so therefore we need to understand how do we do rapid prototyping, where one aspect, we can therefore ensure that we move uh, that in scale, and the entire organization is accept something at a given point in time simultaneously, instead of waiting for it to cascade, like a Madrushka doll. The other one is give employees the opportunity to design and test new concepts and ensure that they shift their mindset. It's all here. So how do we ensure that we shift the mindset of our employees? The next thing is it's here and it's now. So therefore, how do we ensure that we get our hands dirty? How do we ensure that there is continuous innovation? How do we ensure there's no really a formula for innovation? But one thing is sure, we need to be agile, because what worked yesterday is not going to work today. Today, the world is inundated with AI, bots, cloud computing, blockchain. So how do we ensure that our employees have the belly or the gut to move like a startup, to unskill, reskill, multi-skill, upskill? One initiative which we can think of in those remote working, as well as when we are in offices, is probably hackathon, to introduce innovative methodologies where there's a consensus and buy-in, but fun while doing it, where we feel that we've been heard. Then the other part is understanding what is really working for us. What worked before is not going to work now, and what works now is not going to work in the future. So we have to constantly keep balancing our ideas and vision to move to the now and then the now, right? So the other part is to build the strategy and have alignment across. People need to understand where we're going. Of course, it has to be very quick, and we have to ensure that we do not have the time till it goes to the last person standing on the ground. So it's essential to be very quick in our uptake and movement. The other one is change of mindset, change what we have had worked with and has worked for us for a very, very long time. Like I said, this is to take stock of where we are now, and therefore to understand what is the processes that need to be changed. What is the values in terms of the company's culture and how decisions are being made, including what kind of people do we have? What are they coming with? What is the kind of attitude they are carrying to the organization? And finally, the resources, both the tangible as well as the intangible, which contribute to what the organization can achieve. This obviously includes our entire people quotient. It's about the new technology. It's about our own intellectual rights as a company. It is ensuring that all these three are aligned to move, or we are ready and have a strategy to move to the next stage in our lives. Quick 8 steps on how we become more and more resilient. One is learn to embrace change. Change is definitely a reality, and it's a VUCA world. We need to find ways to become comfortable with that change. The next one is ensuring that our employees are continuously learning, because we sometimes stop learning, thinking, hey, I've done enough, I know it, but it's about moving to the new, being agile and continuously upskilling ourselves, sometimes reskilling ourselves, sometimes unskilling and decluttering ourselves. The other one is, as leaders, to take charge and to ensure that the entire ecosystem, whether it is people, process, policies, are changed, and therefore as leaders to take charge. The fourth aspect is to build a sense of purpose. What happens is when there are changes, it tends to rock the boat, and to therefore be steadfast and have the anchors to move the ship as we move ahead. The other aspect is, how do we change our skill sets? How do we equip our people to move to what is the new? For instance, earlier COBOL was in, but that's passé. Now Python is in, bots are in. How do we ensure that we educate our people to move to the new? Reflection. I think it's essential for us, all of us, to take a moment to reflect on what worked for us and can some of that therefore shift. And it's about taking calculative risks based on those reflections. In the virtual world, we must understand that we have to build relationships. And even if we are going to office, it's all about teams and building collaboration. So how do you cultivate a relationship? And how do you nurture that relationship to ensure that there is bonhomie, there's camaraderie, there is some sense of being part of the organization which we call ourselves and we identify with. And last but not the least, it's essential to understand, how are we as an organization, how are we as leaders, how are we as employees different, and what makes us different from the others. And lastly, it's not about being the best, it's about being better than we were yesterday. Thank you very much, Mitsu.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tanaya. Thank you very much for this really, may I use the word motivating presentation? Thank you very much. We truly appreciate it. And thank you for being a part of the Khaleej Times Remote Workforce Summit, the second edition. We hope that you enjoy the rest of the presentations. And thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.